with the former coach.
So with Seth Greenberg, you watched, let me start with your broadcast schedule. What's it like here in Vegas for you?
It's been fun. I've done 3 days, 6 games. It's been a lot of fun. Got a chance to work with Jonesy, which is always a treat. Now take the red eye, get home, and do the TBT next week. So it's good to get a chance to see some ball, visit with some friends. It's the great thing about the summer league is you get a chance to reconnect with people you haven't seen all season, especially for me that I'm so involved with what we're doing in the college game. I don't get out, except for talking to people about players, I don't get that FaceTime with friends that are in the league.
So as you mentioned, you got to call Kings Pacers, Mark Jones doing the game with you. Impressions, let's start with the Kings' top pick, Keegan Murray. What do you think of him? And you obviously knew him well at Iowa.
Yeah, I thought he was terrific. I called efficient and versatile. But what I really liked, and I know the Kings, he's going to make shots. He's an elite jump shooter. But I thought the last quarter he was assertive. And he has the ability to beat people off the dribble. He has the ability to create separation. When he gets into training camp, what people are going to see is he's so good without the ball. He's a great cutter. He uses screens well. And as they get a better feel for how to use him, he'll even be that much more effective. But very understated, very comfortable in his own skin, extremely skilled, and tremendously efficient.
Yeah, I couldn't believe the game Saturday with a sudden death game. He hits the game-tying three, and it's just blank. No expression, like high, low. I mean, there's not a lot of guys like that, especially this young.
Yeah, Jones is going to work on his smile. The one thing you want to make sure he's enjoying what he's doing. But, no, I think he's very focused, very determined. He's using this as an opportunity. He's learning. He doesn't have all the answers. He doesn't have the answer to the test. But what he does have, he's got skill, and he wants to continue to get better and learn and listen and hear. And you can hear him when he talks and does his interviews in the post-game. You could tell he's saying things that the coaching staff's saying to him. And when you have that situation, you know you're in a good place because he's listening and hearing the people that are coaching him.
For Kings fans that have watched him a little bit that we get to see him, what do you think of his defense? Because that's an area certainly that's been a huge downfall for the Kings. Do you see him as a defender 4, 3, both positions? Where do you think he is defensively?
Yeah, I think offensively and defensively, where you play him. Coach knows they'll figure out what to do defense. He's going to be solid. He's going to keep the ball in front. He's got good length. He'll be able to contest shots. He'll sit in a stance. Look, in the NBA, it's not individual defense. It's defense. How connected are you? And then how can you play out of rotations? And he's got the length, and he's got pretty good footwork to be able to play out of those rotations. But you've got to have 5 guys connected out of the rotations, and that's obviously the job. They bottom 6 in offensive defensive efficiency. They've got to get better in that year, and I'm sure, obviously, that's one of the reasons Coach Jones is there.
Plug and play. I can picture him with Sabonis, with Fox, with Harrison Barnes, just probably playing better, honestly, with better players around him.
Yeah, he won't be the focal point. Right. I mean, like when he and Banchero faced off, that was like a one-on-one match. Both of those guys trying to take the other guy out. He's going to be a piece, but he's going to develop into, obviously, a really significant play. You got to remember, 2 years ago, he averaged 7 points a game.
Right.
So, but he was a dominant player in the Big Ten last year, and he was a player that they rode to a Big Ten championship. So he will take on more and more of the load, obviously, as he gets more comfortable with the NBA.
A couple other guys that probably are going to be on the surface for the Kings. Nimi Keita, who left the game with injury, but a big guy, big rebounder, and Keon Ellis, just an opinion on those guys. I love Keon
Ellis. I went and watched Alabama practice last year, and a lot of people went to see J.D. Davison, explosive guard. I was blown away by Ellis. 10 minutes into the gym, his ability to defend, his ability to rebound the ball, his ability to run, and he's shooting the ball better right now, which is a big part. He has a chance to be a two-way, player on that two-way deal, and I think he'll be good. And I thought Nimi Keita was good. I thought he was good. I thought he showed some impact on the game defensively. He hit 3 blocks in a row. Defensive agility is really important in the NBA for bigs, and he showed some defensive ability. And then look, he made a shot, so he stretched defense. I'm not sold at him as a passer, but he did make a couple of decent passes. But I think the Kings G League team did a great job of developing him this past year.
A couple more here with Seth Greenberg. All right, the draft class in general, what do you think? I mean, it seems pretty good, but you would know better. What do you think about the overall class?
Yeah, I think the overall class is good. I mean, we always spend all our time at the top of the draft, which we should, but there'll be players that'll emerge like they always emerge. There'll be second-round guys that, end up getting opportunities or just have good fits. So it's gonna be fun. The thing that people are like, all these guys are so young. They're so young. Fans, I know it's short for fanatic, need to be patient.
Last thing, so much of the conference alignment with college football is I haven't heard a lot of perspective yet on basketball. So UCLA, USC, Big Ten, what Oklahoma and Texas, like what do you make of all that mess?
I think we're going to have 5 conferences eventually. I think we're going to have the ACC, the SEC, the Big Ten, probably some sort of the Big 12 and the
Is that
Pac-12
good, though?
coming together. And then you're going to have a non-football playing conference with the Big East schools and maybe the Gonzagas and the St. Mary's and Dayton's and St. Louis. Whether it's good or not, it's the world we're going to live in.
Yeah.
I think the NCAA tournament will have 68 teams, but it'll probably be closer to the 68 best teams. I'm not sure you're going to have as many automatic qualifiers. And that's just speculation. The one thing I would like to see the NCAA do or at college athletics do is if a kid puts his name in a draft and doesn't get drafted, he should be able to come back to school. Because you can have an agent now, you can have name, image, and likeness so that, you're basically, it's paid for play no matter what.
Yeah.
But if a kid doesn't get drafted, why not bring him back to school so he can finish his education?
Yeah. You miss coaching at all?
Yeah, every day, but I've got a great job.
Yeah, you do. And you do a great job.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Really appreciate your time. Thank you.
Greenberg hopefully enjoyed some of the things he had to say. We've got more interviews coming up from people that we talked to in Vegas. You will hear from the G-Man. You will hear from Sam Amick. You're going to hear from Carmichael Dave. We'll have Monty McNair tomorrow. We got lots of stuff coming your way still. We are just getting going. When we come back in about 90 seconds, we're going to have 3 for Madness, 3 questions, 3 answers, all coming up.
Hey,